Downright fierce.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Downright Fierce Gaming, literally America's #1 video game podcast. My name is Josh Asensio. With me is...
Christopher Donald Stanton. What's up, jabronis?
And... Jacob Alexander plays the third. Kim Duval, motherfucking...
What's up,
Hey, Jacob, how are you?
Yeah, man, how was your trip?
Oh, man, it was so good. It was so... Japan... Oh, Japan is just... It's Japan, fam.
I should have done that.
Yeah,
you should have had me do it.
That was really bad. Yeah. So Jacob was supposed to be here.
You sounded like Red Fox doing a Mr. T impression.
And we talked about, like, we were just gonna have it be silent. We weren't even gonna like say anything. We were just gonna talk to imaginary character. And I freaked out. I'm like, oh, but wouldn't that be funny if I talked for him? No, it really wasn't.
It really is America's #1 gaming podcast on iTunes. Like, go look content. At it right now. It's crazy.
It's true. Actually, this is some pretty exciting news. I was checking iTunes, and I will admit I did talk to an advertiser, you know, so I did. It's not like completely out of the blue. They said that they were going to get our name out and work on, you know, exposure and stuff, so we could finally get some attention on the podcast that we've spent so much money on, so much, you know, energy on. And apparently they did their job, we did our job, and we are now #1. At first we were #8 for gaming and hobbies. And now we're #1 for gaming and hobbies, and #1 for video games.
And like, what was it? Number 150 overall.
115 overall for all the podcasts ever on iTunes. Number 115, which is still
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Joe Rogan beat us. Fuck Joe Rogan. Whatever. No, he's a cool guy. I don't know if he's cool. He seems like a douche. Anyways, this is a video game podcast, so let's do some fucking video game stuff. Oh yeah! Oh, there it goes! And the explosion!
See, I don't need to do any of that.
You don't do that?
I am that.
You are the Christopher Donald Stanton.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I live that.
So, first thing is that the Fierce News is brought to you by Pomade and Tonic. First in the news, according to Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO John Codera, the PS4 is entering the final phase of its life cycle. Now, this is a story that's been going around basically all the outlets. It's been on Kotaku, IGN, Facebook, and the thing is, it's been taken so far out of context that it sounds way worse than it is. Like, have you heard that? Have you heard about this? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Have you seen this?
I've heard. I think it was last week on the show. You guys were talking about them announcing potentially a new PlayStation here soon. I think it seems just really unlikely. I don't have my finger on the pulse as much as you guys do, but
well, yeah,
it seems really. Considering the life cycle of the PS2 and the PS3, yeah, it just seems strange to me.
Yeah, I mean, and also Andrew Kirkendall says, "Don't badmouth Joe Rogan." No, I like Joe Rogan, I do. And Ariana says, "I'm not ready to give him a PS4." You're not going to have to, because that's the thing. It's something that was taken completely out of context. Within context, he was referring to as far as console revenue and decreased unit sales. So we're at the end of the life cycle where it's not going to be the #1 selling. Well, I mean, it's still probably going to be #1 selling as far as consoles go.
Like most people have bought theirs already.
Exactly. Yeah. So, you know, now you're going to start seeing sales. They're probably going to come out with a slim, you know, $199 version. It's going down as far as that goes. So it's peaked and now it's on its way down, which is actually they predicted pretty well, because they said the PS4 Pro was going to be the halfway, like the mid console release. So this is about halfway through the console's lifetime. Now, he probably... That doesn't change the fact that he probably shouldn't have said that.
Oh, I agree.
Because, I mean, when you're in the public face, things are going to be taken out of context. You kind of got to watch what you're saying. So that was bad form to be saying something like that. But he also probably shouldn't have said that March 2021 would be when Sony is planning to look beyond the PS4 console and into the future. He's giving out some pretty private information about something that probably happened in a meeting. It's like, okay, hey guys, we're looking towards 2021 for PS5, you think? Okay, yeah, right. 2021. It's like, hey, everybody, 2021. Dude. Mm-hmm. Like, the problem is, like, that is an appropriate time. That's probably when, you know, PS5 is going to come out. It's a fair assessment. But at the same time, they just released the PS4 Pro, and they were telling people, hey, this is, you know, like, this is, you don't have to worry about spending all your money on this,
Right.
and then all of a sudden all the games are going to be PS4 Pro, or you have to worry about, like, in a couple of years, like, they just asked for our money. To say that they're already thinking about the next way to get our money, I think it's kind of not tacky, but what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's bad form.
Yeah, tacky's close.
Tacky is
What do you
close.
think, Jacob?
Good point. Good point.
I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's really insightful, Jacob. Thank you. Now, that would be, I mean, 2021 would be an appropriate time to at least start hearing rumblings about PS5. But yeah.
When did it come out? 2012?
You're the dates guy. I don't know.
I know I am.
Yeah.
I want to say it was 2012. That sounds about right.
2012 or 20... You know what? 2013 is when GTA 5 came out. So...
Yeah, but
that came out for the previous console. So
Right.
I'd say late 2013 or maybe 2014.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to think about that.
Yeah, because
Scribe.
Scribe, yes. Actually, our Scribe Mark Mayfield is in the chat. So if
I
we
feel
can
like
get-
I know I'm definitely wrong with 2012. That was way too early.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I know it's either 2013 or 2014.
Yeah. And I mean, this is too early to be hearing about this. I don't want to hear about a PS5. Like, I feel like I'm not done with the PS4 yet. I mean, Ariana was saying in
you
chat
got a
she doesn't want to
Pro.
give it up. And
I don't even have a Pro.
Well, I got the Pro because lightning hit my house and destroyed
true.
my 4. But I mean, even with the Pro, I mean, I don't even have a 4K TV. I'm doing it for the frame rate.
What's
really.
funny is like I have a 4K TV and I don't have a Pro. I haven't used my 4K TV for anything 4K yet.
Interesting.
I know you probably think
That sucks. Like,
I know,
you should.
'cause
Like,
you-
yeah. I don't know why you would do that.
Yeah,
like, you're
well,
breaking my technological
Remember,
heart.
I bought the Xbox One S thinking it did 4K gaming, and you're like, no, it just does 4K like video, and I was like, oh, I still haven't.
No, it doesn't even do that.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It does something 4K.
It does nothing 4K. I promise you. It does nothing 4K.
The Xbox One S. Nothing 4K at all.
S is insane.
4K Blu-rays. Nothing.
Nope. I promise you it doesn't.
Okay.
For the S is the like the slim version, basically.
Dude, they upgraded it. I'm telling you, they did something.
All right.
Scribe.
Ariana says 2013 it came out. So yeah, near the end. So it's near the end of
Okay.
2013. I mean, that's so. I mean, we're still using it. We got God of War, and that game looked gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
And you know, we're still getting these games that look fantastic on the PS4 Pro. We're probably not going to see what's it called? Hideo Kojima's game, Death Stranding.
Stranding.
We're not going to see Death Stranding on a PS4. We're not going to see, you know, a lot of
don't
these
think
games.
so?
No way. No, that game's like a 2020 or 2021.
You think it's that far out? They've been teasing
Hell
it for
yeah.
like 4 years.
I mean, okay, well, we actually do have a story on that one. I
Okay.
mean, there is gameplay out there right now, but it's still like, I mean, they just started making this. They picked an engine last year. They just picked the engine.
That just
so-
seems way far out.
I mean, and he likes to work on his games. But and apparently Brandon Akers says Xbox One S does 4K. Okay.
Yeah, but I
guess
think
was
there's a
wrong.
discrepancy of it either doesn't play 4K, play games at 4K, or it only shows video at 4K. I think it's only shows video at 4K. That's
Ladies and gentlemen, America's #1 video game podcast. Can't figure out what console.
great. Well, nobody
We're the
really
best.
talks about the Xbox anyway. I just felt like throwing,
That is true.
throwing mine a bone.
Yeah.
I got a good deal on it.
Yeah. So moving on. Okay, so this is a really mean clickbait title. Are you ready for this? Like, if I was writing an article, this is exactly how I'd word it. Resident Evil 7 came out on the Nintendo Switch this week. That's a true story.
Okay.
So, okay. So it's not exactly what it sounds like, but it's still exciting stuff. So it did kind of come out for the Nintendo Switch. It came out exclusively for Japan, and it's Resident Evil 7 cloud version. Like, the Switch cannot handle Resident Evil
Cloud
7.
from Final Fantasy, isn't it?
That would be fucking amazing.
That would be awesome, right, Jacob?
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
Right? Wow, that was very insightful.
Especially if he has.
Yeah. But. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. All right,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So. Yeah, no, it's not that cloud, but it's like cloud-based gaming. So it's you're streaming the game because again, the Switch is not powerful enough to run this game. And it came out with all 4 DLC packs and the entire game, but it can only be played over cloud services. I already said that. Players are able to experience the first 15 minutes of the game for free, and then after they can pay 2,000 yen, or roughly $18, for an 188-day service pass. So as opposed to buying the game, you're paying for it as a service, which
I think that's going to happen a lot more.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. I mean, first of all, this is a great way to get around the Switch's downfalls. 100%. You know, cloud-based gaming is the future. I've been saying this for so long. In fact, we have another story about that I'm also going to talk about later. But this is the future. It's cloud-based gaming, and you take a mobile platform like Switch, and you allow it to play these, you know, like high-quality games. I mean, just I don't know what else to say. I think it's in the description.
Sure.
It's going to be incredible.
Yeah, I mean, the Switch is the perfect console, or whatever it is for it.
Sorry for our audio listeners, my chair just went down.
That's fine. I think Jacob just pushed the thing by accident.
He did. Yeah, he did. So the bad news. Well, it's not really bad news. Currently, people who have gotten it to work in the U.S. have had some serious issues with it, but it has yet to be seen whether or not it's because they're trying to do it in the U.S. when it's only supposed to be in Japan. Sorry, I'm messing with my chair again. It's only supposed to be in Japan, but even if it's not, let's just take the fact that maybe it's not the fact that they're trying to do it in the U.S. as opposed to doing it in Japan where it's meant to be done. If they're having issues, that's okay. This is a very new concept. And the fact that companies are trying, the fact that they're just trying to do this, I'm very excited for a future where I can pay, you know, like $20 and get all my games streaming to me.
Sure.
You know,
I mean, we're also
quality.
talking about, like, living in a part of the country / world where, like, our internet isn't even close to the speeds as like. Why are you making that face?
I'm making that face because wait, hold on. No, we have amazing internet in the United States. Not in all of the United States, not like flyover states.
Right. My point is, like, I like any cloud-based, stream-based gaming I've ever experienced has always had the downfall of, like, not being playing like if I was playing something on my hard drive. I mean, there's always a latency.
It's new technology.
It's right. But what I'm saying is, like, even with the bandwidth, you've got cities here in America that have 100 times the bandwidth of what we're streaming with right now. You know what I mean? So, like, once kind of everybody has that and it's refined, then people aren't going to be. It's going to be like walking through Target and be like, why would I buy that on Blu-ray when I can watch it anytime on Netflix? You know, like. So
yeah, you don't. I'm just gonna be honest. I went full ADD and did not hear a single thing you said. Oh, really? I'm so sorry. I'm so genuinely sorry.
It wasn't. It didn't. As long as
you seemed really passionate.
As long as Jacob heard it, then that's fine. I mean, I know he's gonna fundamentally just.
Okay. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. No. Don't you need to.
And dude, just because you were in Japan, like, doesn't make you Japanese now, dude. Like, I get that you're trying.
That is racist. You know what?
That's fine.
Okay.
Let's just move on. That's whatever.
No, I know what you were trying to say, but you didn't. You can choose your words a little bit more carefully, Jacob.
Can't believe I said that.
Anyways, so one game that will likely not come to the Switch is Overwatch. Blizzard's senior game producer Matthew Hawley, Hawley said, "There are challenges in running on platforms that we're not already on. Otherwise, we would." Oh my God, words. We would probably already be on some of those other platforms. That's a run-on sentence. We'll see where things go. Certainly, there is a huge number of people out there who have Nintendo Switch and mobile phones, but right now, the core development team is focused on supporting the live game. And it's things like this. Like, I don't think cloud-based gaming would really help with Twitch shooters like that, you know, where you really need fast reflexes. But I think that kind of just highlighted the fact that the Switch has a lot of shortcomings. Right. And I mean other companies see it too.
I mean, I know Overwatch isn't that graphically intense. It's a very pretty game. So I'm assuming there could be a version of it that runs on the Switch and runs fairly well. But the kind of the purpose of the game, even though I haven't played it a ton, but, like, I don't know if the Switch can handle the capabilities of, like, you're playing it on a subway on your, with like 35 other people across the world at the same time. Like, I don't know if they can, and if they're going to devote their resources to something, maybe that's on the back burner. But I think it would be fun if they could refine it. Yeah. Did you pay attention that time?
No, I did. I was listening. That's what I was listening. I promise.
Start like spouting out like a brownie recipe.
You know what's funny? I'm always terrified that somebody's gonna not quiz me, but like throw in something completely random, knowing that I have ADD.
Right.
Just be like, yeah. And then when we started eating the babies, we realized they taste so delicious, and that's why Blizzard is working on this system, is because they want to bring back making pie in Japan, and when you make pie in Japan, then we have these execs that are
I got it.
so
yeah.
I went a little bit far with
I stopped paying attention to that.
Yeah, that you should have. You should have. So earlier I was saying we have stuff on Death Stranding. We have some news about Death Stranding, and it's starting to make me a little bit worried about it. Now I know how Jacob. I know how you feel about that, Chris. How do you feel about Death Stranding?
I mean, anything Kojima does and has done pretty much forever has always interested me. It's always of a high quality of product. This game seems to kind of be in developmental hell.
I mean, not necessarily. It was just kind of announced, and they're like,
well, but
they're taking their time with it.
From the first ever like Norman Reedus reveal gameplay or trailer or whatever, that seemed like that was
short movie, basically.
Yeah, that seemed like that was 4 or 5 years ago.
No, it was.
I'm not talking about the one on the beach. I'm talking about the one like where he's on the street and whatever.
Oh, PT.
Right, but isn't this just like a
no?
PT
PT was going to be Silent Hills, and then that's when he was with Konami, and then Konami fired him.
Okay,
and so that project's dead.
So Kojima being with Konami and Reedus being with Konami had nothing to do with Death Stranding.
No, Death Stranding is completely separate of Konami. That is a Kojima Productions thing.
I get that. I just assumed that they were basically like, okay, well, we're gonna take this project and go over.
No. We're never gonna see PT.
Well, either way, it seems like that's just like interesting.
That was a long time ago.
Same developer and same actor. It seems strange. Yeah. But even the stuff with I can't remember the other guy's name.
Yeah, no, I remember
you know what I'm talking about. It just seems like
Guillermo del Toro.
It seems like not Guillermo del Toro. The actor Mads.
He's in the story. He's in the story. His name is Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah. Like even that footage seems like it was forever. I don't know. It seems like every year we get like, here's new Death Stranding stuff. You have to wait another year, and you don't have any more information on it. And I don't know. I'm sure it's going to be great if they're delaying it to 2020. Well, I don't know.
We have no date at all. I'm just saying
that's the rumor.
Also, to go back real quick, as Ariana says, has a really good point. The Switch would need to be in a stable internet environment to be on par with other users. The chances of disconnects is daunting. That's 100%.
And then like there's game over. It's game over, man.
It's game over, man. That was a sick reference. That was a really good reference.
Man.
I like that.
I love the Terminator. It's great.
Yeah. So okay, here's why I'm worried about it. According to Mads Mikkelsen, the whole concept of playing the game, as I understand, needs collaboration from different people from different parts of the world. And previously, we've learned that Norman Reedus suggested the game would include elements of social media. So here's why I'm worried. We've seen him do something similar with PT. PT had like the most complicated puzzles where you needed collaboration from all around the world. You needed people to translate things in different languages, to recognize that it's even in that language, and things that happen so quickly that you don't even have time to pause. You would need somebody who's a native speaker to just say, oh, that says that. And so it had people trying to decipher these puzzles in the game just to get to the ending. Mm-hmm. But unless you're part of that, then you're just reading a guide from these people. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I never got to be a part of the solving of PT. I just found out afterwards through a guide. And if he's doing something that he did similarly in PT, then that kind of worries me, because I don't want to go through a game where I have to, just read somebody else's guide. I mean, that's all it would be. It wouldn't be me figuring out with some guy in Germany who's also corresponding with some guy in China, because there's different things that we have to know about each other's towns to get past these puzzles. Like, I want to be able to have a single player experience, single playerly.
It doesn't sound like that's happening with this.
And with PT, it would have been impossible, completely impossible to beat the game without either a guide or to decipher it with other people.
Right.
And that's what's worrying me.
It seems interesting to have that kind of
I don't know, like in a game like I've never really played it. I played it for 5 minutes. I didn't like it, but like in a game like Fortnite or something, like it seems like if you're on your own or if you're doing the squad-based type stuff, like it seems like that would require like cooperation from the online community or whatever. But a game where you're looking at like a story, you know, like imagine like not being able to get through Mass Effect unless like there's 12 other people or 10 other people, whatever, around the world helping you get, like that just doesn't seem conducive to like creating a good single player experience at all, or a good just storytelling experience. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he is the master of storytelling. Maybe not the master of storytelling. He is very unique when it comes to storytelling. But he's also a weirdo, and I feel like my faith in Kojima is slowly wavering because I feel like he's accidentally fallen into so many like masterpieces. Like a lot of the stuff he does is so weird and different from all the other stuff that he does, to where it's like, are you doing this on purpose? Are you learning, or are you just kind of accidentally coming up with these genius ideas? I mean, like, it started with Metal Gear Solid 2 for me when, you know, I watched this interview with him and he was saying like, oh, I wanted to make, you know, this ketchup bottle. You look at this ketchup bottle and I want it to be, if you shoot it, it explodes. And, you know, that way when there's a shootout, the ketchup bottle explodes, and people are like, well, people aren't going to see the ketchup bottle exploding. It's like, yeah, but it's about the environment and things that are happening around you,
right.
And you don't realize you're seeing the ketchup bottle explode, but it is.
Right.
And, you know, that really got me paying attention. I'm like, I really like the way this guy thinks. And, you know, it's out there, and it turned out to be, you know, something that we now see in most games. The ketchup bottle always explodes. Of course. You know? But you look at games like Metal Gear Solid 5, and there's some really weird things in there. Like, just super weird. Even PT, you know, again, the collaboration with different countries, the collaboration with solving puzzles and all these things, like it's getting super weird. And again, I think it worked in PT. I think it was fine in PT, but it's just, I'm worried he's already out there.
Right. Jumping
I'm
the
worried
shark
that
too
he's
much.
getting a little bit too far out there.
Yeah.
I mean, the studio, you know, I listened to this podcast where they talked about his studio, and the entryway is this long tunnel of light, and they said it's similar to that scene in Resident Evil, you know. So it's this long tunnel of light, and then there's like a statue at the end of it, and he said that he wanted it to feel like you were being birthed into the studio
Of like creativity.
Yeah, like you're being birthed into this world, and you're being completely separated away from the outside world, and you're leaving everything behind, and you're just being birthed into this thing. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, okay,
It's a little weird.
Okay, I mean, I get it, art, but man, that's out there. That's really out there. I don't know. It's just, anyways, we'll see. We'll see. Now, we got some news from Nintendo that would suggest we could be seeing an N64 Mini.
I think it's very likely.
I think, yeah.
And I think it would be awesome.
So Nintendo has filed a trademark in Japan that covers an N64 video game program, controller, and joystick. It doesn't necessarily guarantee an N64 Mini is on the way. Basically, companies do this all the time to make sure that they can maintain their trademark. But timing and bringing back the NES Classic and the SNES Classic, and, you know, maybe. I mean, I wrote this down so that way we can call it. We'd be like, oh, called it, N64 Mini.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
It's an easy call, but to say that it's going to be like relatively soon.
It'll be before the holiday.
Oh, you think so?
Sure.
I'm wondering if I want to do a pizza bet.
I mean, the last two have been like they're. You know me, I'm on the side of like make more of these things and make them more powerful and charge more money for them, and people will still buy them. Like personally, I think you could make the N64 Mini, have it come with 15 games, as long as 2 of them are Mario Kart and GoldenEye, have an Ethernet port, and have 4-player, Mario Kart and GoldenEye on the internet, and charge $150 for it, and people would pay for or charge $100, whatever. But no, what they'll probably do, it'll probably be 15 or 20 games, if I had to guess. It'll definitely come with a controller, if not 2. They'll sell controllers as peripherals, so that way people can jack in 4 controllers and do the split screen mode. But yeah, I would say 95% chance it's out before Christmas.
Okay. You want a pizza bet?
Sure.
Okay. I say it is not out before Christmas. You say it is.
Christmas 2018.
Yeah.
Just to
Pizza
verify.
pet. I put pizza bet. N64 not out. And for all our new listeners, pizza bet, as it kind of just sounds like, I'm saying that the bet is winner gets a pizza. I don't know why that needed explaining. Like, it's kind of implied in the name.
What is this pizza bet you're describing here?
So let me get this straight. You two wager on an outcome, and then the winner gets compensation.
Who is Pete, and why is he a bet?
Pizza.
Pete's a bet.
I know, but no, but I'm saying like pizza.
Oh, you're saying pizza bet.
This is so bad. This is so bad. Okay, so pizza bet N64 not out by Xmas 2018. That's what I say. Jacob, what do you think? Oh. No? I think he's right. Okay, so big news from EA. They've recently acquired GameFly's cloud gaming technology. According to EA, the acquisition will, quote, enable the company to continue exploring new ways for players to access and experience games from any device. EA also says their ultimate goal is to deliver, quote, next generation experiences at scale via streaming. Now this is what I've been saying. Like, I've been calling it for a while. I've been saying the next, like, big, maybe not the next big console, but the next big thing to happen to video gaming will be you buy a console that just connects to the internet, has super good internet, super fast internet, and you play games via a cloud service, and it's just, you pay like $20 a month or something, and you get to play their entire library.
Yep.
And you could even do that with a PC. It's all about the subscription. And that's how they would make their money. And EA, of all companies, to start this trend, if EA pulls this off...
No one's going to beat them.
I mean, well, okay. That's fair, but they can still start the market. You look at it like a Netflix thing, right?
Sure.
Netflix kind of started things moving along, and then you had a lot of other companies that tried it, and the ones that stuck were Hulu, and Hulu, that was almost not a thing. Hulu, and then you've got Crackle.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Yeah, you have these these companies. It's about the library. If you have a library that can back it up. And you could have different price points. Bethesda, they have a fantastic library, but they don't have the numbers. Why not say $20 for EA, you play all their games, and then, $5 for Bethesda.
Right.
Totally, but EA, the thing is, in order to pull this off, you have to do it right, because cloud-based gaming is still very new, and other companies have tried this. This isn't even a new thing. There have been subscription services for cloud-based gaming where you can go on your crappy laptop or your crappy PC and play a high-end PC game over the internet, but they failed because you need a lot of money to make this work. So with EA and the amount of money that they have, which is stupid money, like, I think this can finally work.
How much? Okay, so thought just came in my head. Capcom tomorrow announces we're releasing a streaming service for our entire library, like literally entire library. Tomorrow at GameStop, Walmart, wherever, you can go buy a controller that's Bluetooth that'll connect to any smart TV or your smart device or whatever, and you can just start playing any Capcom game forever, or that we've ever released.
It would need to be. You would probably need, at the very least, at this level. Like, that's the future, but. At this level, you would just need to hook up to a PC that's hooked up to an Ethernet cord, because you need fast internet. You need, like, blazingly fast internet.
But either way,
that a smart TV wouldn't have.
But my smart TV is pretty fast. I mean, I stream in 4K on my Netflix on my TV.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
I mean, it's not like.
I mean, you need fast. Because you would need like 5 megabyte a second like speeds for something like that.
I get at least between 25 and 50 with my.
Well, fuck me, right?
I'm just saying.
Jesus.
That's what I'm paying for.
Yeah.
But anyway, my point is, like, all the technicalities aside, like $9.99 a month.
Oh, absolutely.
You buy the controller for $60.
That's throwaway money. Yeah.
And people do it.
I think you can even charge. I think you could charge $20 a month.
So the problem is that, like, when you're talking about things like Netflix and Hulu and whatever, they've got NBC, they've got Fox, they've got Capcom. You know what I mean? They've got those of the world. I think companies like Capcom or Bethesda or whatever try to go at it on their own, I think they're dead in the water when you've got something like. But you would need like a Gameflix to come along and go, all right, Capcom, all right, Bethesda, all right, X company, Y company.
But they're not going to say yes to that because they don't get enough money. They're just renting the licenses, and they're going to see a diminishing sales because it will be like Netflix, where these companies, they're like, well, I'm not going to make any freaking money then. You know, it's even like Movie Pass. Like the movie theaters are thinking, we're not going to make as much money. We're not going to, you know, this is all, you know, dead, like complicated business shit, to where they're thinking this is going to hurt our sales. We don't want to. I know. I was starting to. Yeah.
No, I was just, my buddy Squiggy asked, why am I so clean shaven?
Oh.
Anyway.
I got you.
He's a celebrity now, by the way.
Oh, cool. So are we.
Maybe that's why our podcast is. Yeah.
But, you know, so they're looking at it like this can hurt sales.
Right.
You know, that's why some games won't even go on Steam, some major games, and they're going like right to the Microsoft, store, because they're thinking of it's going to hurt their sales. They want to keep all the money. So why isn't it just like Microsoft, you know, Sony exclusives, things like that, where they have a service, you know, just for the library, and you price it according to your library?
Oh, I agree. I mean,
like if Capcom has a significant library, which they do, you could charge like $20. And again, Bethesda, not as many titles, or even Naughty Dog, they only have like a handful of titles. $3 for Naughty Dog.
Right.
You know, you just shell out $3 and then bam.
Right.
And they get everybody, because why wouldn't you give them $3?
Right.
You know.
That's amazing. I mean, yeah. It's kind of like the anti-NES Classic. It's like, here's everything, and you don't have like a mini version of the console, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think it's the future. Hopefully, we'll see. And then Brandon earlier was saying $20 a month service plus $2.99 DLC. Then there you go. Then you get all the microtransactions.
Right.
You get all the little things like, oh, you know, that's the basic service. If you want the ultimate service with all the DLCs and all the costumes and all the extra cloud saves and whatever, there you go.
Yep.
So this is a weird story. It's the last story. The Vita may be dying, but that doesn't necessarily mean Sony is out of the portable gaming market. And Jacob, I know. I don't know what to say.
He's.
God damn it, Jacob. New PlayStation boss John Codera recently shared with Bloomberg that it was, quote, not yet the right stage to discuss specific hardware plans, but that the company was carrying out experiments in the area. He went on to say that, quote, in my opinion, rather than separating portable gaming from consoles, it's necessary to continue thinking of it as one method to deliver more gaming experiences and exploring what our customers want from portable. We want to think about many options. So here's the problem. There's one thing your customers want. One thing. We want a, you know, kind of big screen, like a big portable screen, kind of like the Switch. And we want quality games on that device. That's it. Simple. But here's the problem, and here's what I'm thinking. Unlike Nintendo, Sony is known for games with amazing graphics, games that push boundaries all across the board, and yeah, games with, you know, fantastic gameplay like Nintendo also has, but it's mostly about the graphics. You can't take a Horizon game and put that on Switch. It just can't run. So you'd have to dumb down the graphics for a portable console.
Or you make it more powerful and it has to be more expensive.
And then that's the other problem.
Right.
So you'd have to have this console that is like, I don't know, what was the other one that they came out? Oh, the Vita. The
Right.
Vita that is like $600 fucking dollars, and nobody can afford it. But yeah, it does all the things that you needed it to do. Like that's, you know, so like what the fuck is this guy talking about? What could they possibly be messing around with that gamers would want? I don't understand.
I have no idea. I think anyone is essentially foolish to try to even dance in the same market as Nintendo when it comes to portability. Like, period. I mean, especially now that Nintendo basically created a portable console, even though that's kind of been around for a long time. Yeah, I wouldn't even go that route. I mean, and again, like say Sony does, like say Sony was able to create like a handheld that's as powerful as a PlayStation 4.
Oh.
With a big screen, and say they were able to somehow make it $399. You know what I mean? I still think it's going to sell I think it's going to have the same amount of market share as like the Vita did. Like seriously.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
You're saying a current gen capable handheld device is gonna, I mean, priced at a point where, like, at least similar to Switch. I mean, because that is similar to Switch price. $299,
sure.
Right? You can get a PS4 for $299.
Say $399, yeah. But
okay,
yeah.
so a little bit more expensive.
Either way, like I don't know. Like
still,
I know there's a market for it, but I personally have never bought a Sony handheld. Like I've probably bought 6 or 7 Nintendo handhelds in my life. You know what I mean? It's just they have that market cornered, man. I mean, like it'd be like.
I mean, they do. I'll give you that they're dominating right now. But you're telling. Oh, and real quick, I feel so bad. You want to read that last?
Hey, Squig.
There you go.
Hi, I've already acknowledged you. Chill out.
So
everybody, check out Loudwire's Gear Factor, hosted by Squiggy on Loudwire.com. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
That's cool. Yeah. So you're telling me that if they were to create a portable console that was more powerful than the Switch and had the exact same library as the PS4, because that was the problem with the Vita. It didn't have the same library as the PS3 when it came out. It had a different library because it wasn't as powerful as the PS3. But you're saying a system that is as powerful as PS4, miraculously priced at at what $399 or whatever, that it would still not sell as much.
They've barked up that tree before, man. Like I mean,
it wasn't as powerful though.
Yeah, but like when the PSP came out and the Vita came out, like they were all like comparable graphics, not as good, but comparable to the current Sony gen at the time, and B, blew Nintendo's graphics out of the water for handheld. Sony's releasing something basically like, here's a miniature PlayStation 2, and Nintendo's going, that's cool, here's something with shittier graphics, with like N64 graphics and 2 screens. Yeah. And which one won?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like, now I would have been like, the Sony one's going to win, no question. The other one is the biggest selling anything all-time video game related.
But I still say it's price. I still say it's price because the Sony products were way too expensive. It was insanely expensive. I mean, and maybe it was only $100, $200 more, but it's still, that's high enough to where if a kid is going, hey, Mom, I want a portable console. How much is it? $500. No. Okay, well, what about this one that's $150, $200? Okay, yeah, I'll get you that.
No one's going to sell more motorcycles than Harley, regardless of how cheap the motorcycles are.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, Nintendo, they just have it. Like, by a long shot. I'm not saying there's not enough of a market to release it, but as far as, like, viable competition, I don't think so.
So then the answer is nobody has any idea what the fuck this guy's talking about.
I don't.
All right. So that does it for the news. Now we're going to move on to our video game recommendations. This is the new part of the show, Chris, where we just kind of say what we've been playing and what video games we recommend or do not recommend.
Is that why it's called video game recommendations?
Exactly. You get it. Awesome. Cool. So I have been playing, what have I been playing? I beat Far Cry 5. Insanely recommend that, but I think I already recommended that one before. What else have I been playing? Oh shit. I wish I thought about
Well, you borrowed my God of War.
I did. I recommended that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just started Outlast 2. I've been fucking around with the Naruto a lot. I've been playing a lot of Naruto on the Switch.
I don't know. Is that like a cartoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not familiar that much with the cartoon, but I've started playing the game and it's fantastic. I'm on the 3rd one now. What do you recommend? I have no recommendations.
I can't. I beat God of War. Obviously, that's been talked about on here before.
Sorry, just real quick before I forget. I have a video game I would like to not recommend. Is Battlefield Hardline. Tried it out.
I played like the first hour of that. I didn't like it.
It's awful. It's terrible. Like I get it. I get what they were trying to do with it, but no, do not recommend Hardline.
Yeah.
If you get it for free, cool. Play it and then
they were trying to make it like a Michael Bay action movie kind of
meets
thing.
The Shield or something.
Yeah. I didn't like it either.
And then my fiance Jamie goes, "What game did we just start?" Her and I actually just started playing Beyond Two Souls, which came out for the PS Plus free games or whatever PlayStation. It's 2-player. Do you know it's 2-player? Yeah. So we've been playing that and we've been having a lot of fun with that.
Ellen Page, right?
Ellen Page, yeah.
Yep.
Do you know she was gay?
Oh, yeah, of course.
I didn't know she was gay.
Oh, yeah.
I read that in
She's a pretty girl, man. I've always had a thing for her.
Yeah, she's a pretty girl.
It's fine if she wants to bat for the other team.
Yeah, whatever. Not like... Well, hey, we're internet famous now, so maybe there was a chance. Talk to my fiance, be like, hey, fiance, Ellen Page. Woo! woo, let's do a thing.
And then you guys could both go beyond 2 souls.
All right. What have you been playing? I'm sorry.
So I beat God of War. I would say an overall, I would say a solid 9. I have issues with the game. I have things about the game that blew my mind, but I would say a solid 9.
Do you feel comfortable sharing with the rest of the world what you shared with me earlier about God of War? What you did?
Sure. So I don't like exploration games. I don't like RPG-esque elements.
You didn't like Breath of the Wild.
I didn't like Breath of the Wild. It's something I didn't like. I just didn't like it. I guess that's the best way to put it. Anyway, I basically blazed through God of War, and I didn't really focus. I upgraded the runic attacks and upgraded my armors and stuff, but the second half of the game, I just wanted to be done, and I'm like, okay, come on, let's keep going, so yeah, I basically didn't really focus on exploration, upgrading, collecting material. He's talking to me, Josh is talking to me about well, what about this and the sword trials? I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I was explaining how I had super rare orange level rarity armor on. I'm like, what rarity armor did you have? And
no idea. He's talking about colors of rarity. I'm like, I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure that he never got new armor. He just upgraded his level.
I got new armor twice, I think, but I definitely didn't do anything to my armor. The second half of the game, I basically just focused on upgrading. I think I gave Atreus armor one time, new armor. I focused on upgrading him, and then my own level up, upgrades to the abilities and stuff like that. But
in my head, you are at the end of the game, because you said at the end of the game it was super difficult.
It was, the last boss was very hard for me.
I'm imagining you at the end of the game with starter gear. That's what's happening in my brain right now. And that's a very funny world.
I think I was in the level 4 area, as far as ranking, I think.
Level 4?
As far as that thing that goes up and down.
Okay. I thought you were saying your armor. I was going to say, wow, I was in the 20s or something.
No. I mean, there's a number at the top of the right.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I think it was in the 4s. I don't know. Honestly, dude, I just wanted to fucking beat it. But
Ariana did have something really funny. She said, goes, I really thought Atreus' name was Boy.
Yeah, Boy. Yeah, that's the cinematics. The scene. Spoiler alert! The scene when he.
Wait, give him a second. Okay, now. Because you said spoiler alert, and you go right into. It's not really. I mean,
it's kind of it's implied in the trailers that you have to tell your son who you really are, and so not really. The scene when he tells him who he really is very, very, very well done. I thought.
Yeah.
Just you see the camera from his perspective. I'm a god, boy. And there's just that's kind of sounded like.
And his reaction was his reaction was kind of cool. That was it. It was just oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, he's like, oh wow.
But then the other part of what he was telling him was, I thought that was better when he figures out. No, nothing. We'll talk about that another time.
But yeah, then I picked up Gears of War, whatever it was, for Xbox One. It's basically Gears 1 remastered, and then it comes with the Rare Replay Collection, which is every Rare game up through Perfect Dark Zero. So I threw old school Battletoads and stuff like that, but Gears doesn't age very well.
Really? I heard the opposite.
Graphically, it's fine. It's just I forgot how Gears 1 is literally just open this door.
Oh, and then wave.
3 enemies.
Wave, yeah.
Oh, collect ammo. Open this door. 3 or 4 enemies. I mean, it's just the first 2 hours of the game. I was like, okay. But, no, it's cool.
So, Ariana has a good question. What do you think of Kratos in this game versus the Spartan games? You're the expert on that, because I only played half of 1.
I liked him better in this game because of the whole father-son dynamic. It's also a little different because it's a different person doing his voice. So you spend hours and hours and hours with the previous voice actor in the earlier games, and then he sounds similar, but he definitely, it's smart that they got a different voice actor. He sounds older. I liked him better in this game, the father and son dynamic. But overall, I prefer again, I'm a linear guy. I would have much rather had a God of War game that was straight single player, no exploration,
15 to 20 hours straight through with amazing boss battles like the OG games. I didn't need a boat. I didn't need like, oh, well, what about this? And what about that? I'm just not into that stuff playing games. But anyway.
Sure. So now we're going to move on to everybody's favorite part of the podcast. And to all our new listeners, yes, I understand that this is taken from Game Scoop, but it's
So
not.
what?
It's not. It was not. It's. They didn't come up with this idea. They just use it. Fuck it. I'm explaining. Not
I mean, Jimmy
explaining.
Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel both interview people on a couch. That's
And,
right
and
next
they
to them.
they do a
Monologues.
monologue in the beginning. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And they both have a band.
Fuck it.
They both
yeah.
have a band.
Motherfuckers, fucking judging me, motherfucker. You know what? I don't fucking want you listening. How about you just click off, huh? Don't fucking subscribe. Don't fucking. I'm joking. Please,
Oh, did you see
please.
it?
Oh, Jake.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was pretty good.
Jacob, that was really
That
smart.
was pretty good.
I also forgot to plug our YouTube and all that stuff in the beginning of
You
the
should.
show. I should. I'll do that at the end because we're almost there anyways. All right, so now it is time we move on to video game 20 questions. That is where I picked a random video game, and these two are going to have 20 yes or no questions to figure out the name of the game. And then after 10 questions, I will go to chat, and I'm not doing this very well tonight. I will go after 10 questions. I will pick a question from chat. If you guys want to throw out some questions that you think will help them figure out the game, then I'll pick one of those questions, and that's how the game is played. That's explained very poorly. I'm not happy with the way I explained that. I feel like I tripped over my words. I was very redundant. Start.
Okay, I have a question that's not one of the questions.
Okay.
Is there any sort of handicap when it's just one person?
Nope. Because
Okay.
Tristan was all by himself last time, and he
Okay, all right.
And also, you're not just by yourself. Jacob is right here.
That's true. Yeah. My only worry is that it's going to be something that you go deep sometimes, and I'm just,
Yes, I do. Sex.
all right. Was this game released after January 1st, 2000?
No. No. That's to Jacob's question.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing, man. He always asks like the
That
dumbest
question.
questions that early.
You know what? That was such a dumb question. I'm not going to count it.
Okay, good.
There we go.
It's like Brandon. Brandon's always like, question number 2. Does your character wear shoes? You know what I mean? Like,
No, come on.
Brandon!
Okay, hold on. I still maintain that questions like that help, because we've had this debate before where I ask really stupid questions like, it's a shooting game.
that
Do you
is
fire
closing
lasers?
your eyes
Do you
and
find...
throwing the dart is what it is.
Okay,
Dude,
but
you know what I mean?
one of the infamous questions from the online other podcast communities is does your character wear a hat? That helps more than you'd think.
Okay.
Just saying.
Is
I'm not saying it'll help now, but-
Is it an exclusive?
Yes.
Exclusive before 2000. Did it come out in the...
Oh, I don't know if you've watched enough episodes. The new rule is when you ask about exclusivity, it's on release.
Yes, I know that. I always
just-
figured that would be
just make sure.
implied.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it... I always forget the generations. Is it Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis? Is NES in there too, or is that NES?
No, NES and SNES are two different generations.
Okay. So is it in the N64 PS1 generation?
Yes.
And it's an exclusive.
Yes. Again, if you're in chat right now, you can throw out some questions, and I'll make him look away after 10 questions, and I'll pick out one of your questions, and if it'll help him, I'll
Is it a
give to him.
Nintendo 64 exclusive?
No.
Is it a PlayStation 1 exclusive?
No.
Oh man.
Wait, did I cross off 2 for that? I wasn't paying
Is
attention.
it a Saturn exclusive?
No.
Okay, so it's either arcade or handheld. Because we're not counting... Dreamcast is the PlayStation 2 generation, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because it came out in 9/9/99, so that's 3 months. Okay, so it's either handheld, PC, or Arcade. Probably not arcade. Is it a PC exclusive?
Yes.
Is it a shooter?
No.
Okay. PC exclusive before 2000. So it came out roughly 96 to 99. It's not a shooter. Real-time strat. Is it real-time strategy?
I would not call it that, no.
How many am I?
That's 9.
I'm gonna get it. Is it a dungeon crawler?
No.
Shoot. PC exclusive.
Look away. I'm gonna see if there's any questions that'll help you from chat.
So if PC exclusive, it's not a shooter. It's not.
Nothing from chat.
Ooh, wait a minute. Is it? I'm trying to think of the PC exclusive.
You can talk into the mic now.
Sorry. I know Max Payne came out during that time, but you would consider that probably third-person action, or you would? Okay.
That's a shooter.
Obviously Half-Life, Doom, those are all out. Doom was before that anyway.
Yeah, shooter. I mean, shooter is a pretty broad, like, spectrum. So
any Warcraft game is out. Diablo's out. Command and Conquer's out. Whew. Now you're stretching my PC knowledge now.
Stretching it so good.
I know I need to nail down the genre, and I'm missing one. There weren't any like exclusive racing games.
I'm going to tell you something. This game is a little bit harder because you're really good at 20 questions, and Jacob, even though he won't admit it, he's good at 20 questions. So I figured this would be an impressive one for you guys to pull off. I guarantee it's a game that everybody's heard of. Every gamer has heard of, and probably a lot of non-gamers have heard of. But this is probably the most difficult one I've thrown out.
Oh, great. And it's me by myself.
Yeah, just you know, it's pretty difficult. So again, in chat, if you could think of anything that'll help him, you know, he needs it. I mean, if you've narrowed down, not console, but you know where it came out.
Oh, I know. You know me. I always have to nail down like where
I agree. I think that's important.
Yeah, I think that's the only way I really know how to play. It's not going to be a sports game.
Take a look at chat again.
Unless it's a golf game, but
it is not a golf game.
I didn't ask that.
Oh shit, I guess it could have been a golf game. I guess I just gave that to you, didn't I?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Tiger Woods golf.
Right. Like at the time, most
were like PC exclusives.
Yeah, they were
God
PC.
Damn it.
Right.
I just gave that to you.
Right, I know.
All right, well, now you know it's not Tiger Woods golf. Shit.
At the time it was called PGA Tour Golf, I believe.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Are there sci-fi elements to the game?
Yeah, I would say no.
So it wouldn't be like X-Wing, TIE Fighter, Star Trek, any of those?
Well, Star Wars is not sci-fi. Fight me. Star Wars is not sci-fi.
Most of those were shooters.
And I'm not saying that this is Star Wars. I'm saying
I know. Most of those were shooters anyway.
And actually, if it was
Is it an
Star Wars,
RPG?
I would say you said sci-fi like. I would give.
Is it an RPG?
No.
Dude, I'm running out
12.
of options.
Check chat.
I'm not looking.
Oh, actually, my fiance has a fantastic question that will absolutely help.
Okay.
Do you use the arrow keys and spacebar? Yes. Now, I know that sounds like maybe it's not a helpful question, but that is incredibly a helpful question. That is a fantastic question. She might have even guessed it, which is incredible. She's incredible. I love her. She's my fiance. My fiance. Do you remember that? when I drove you home and you called her my fiance?
Yeah, I was.
That was funny.
Key point being you drove me home. Yeah. I remember the next day.
It's your fiance.
I talked to Jamie last night. What
It's
the
your
hell?
fiance. I'm gonna talk to your fiance.
I don't remember that part.
It was so fun.
That was bad.
You were cool.
Arrow keys and spacebar. Well, that's every first-person shooter, obviously.
But it's not a shooter.
I know.
I'm just helping.
Is it a simulation? Like,
No. No.
it's not going to be a fighter. It's not going to be a sports game. I can't think of any driving exclusives unless it's like NASCAR or something. I don't see you picking a NASCAR game.
I'm just curious. Look away. I'm gonna see if they've guessed it based on that, or I was just coming up with. No. I think that she might have been thinking about another game. I mean, that does apply to many games, arrow keys and spacebar, but the fact that the emphasis is on that.
Okay, let's go back.
And it's not only, you don't only use the arrow keys and spacebar.
Was it eventually, this might be two questions, like, was it eventually released on other platforms?
Yes.
Are there sequels?
Yes. That is 16. It's good. It's good to know.
Are they still making a version of the game today?
Oof. I don't know. I didn't look that far.
Okay, so don't.
Maybe.
So don't take that one.
It's possible. I'm not going to count that,
There were
but I think so.
sequels,
I think there's a new
and it
one.
was released on probably home consoles. PC exclusive. First came out. It's definitely something I've heard of.
Yeah. God, I hope so. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone's heard of this game. Check that chat.
Yeah, I'm not looking.
Check
This
that
is hard.
chat. Huh.
Okay. So I mean, I'm just gonna start eliminating. I mean, is it a trivia game?
No.
Okay. Is it a sports game?
No.
And how many do I have left?
You have one left, and then I give you one.
I mean, I have no idea.
I'm trying to think of the one I'm going to give you.
Is it Wait a minute.
I think I'm going to give you one that'll give it away. Maybe, I don't know.
Is it a first-person perspective?
No.
All right, then I'm lost. I have no idea.
All right. I'm trying to think of a question that I can give you that doesn't just give it away, but also helps you enough. Okay. Here we go. Is this not in the sense of a side scrolling, but is the perspective on the side? Like 2D perspective. Is it 2D perspective? Yes, but not a side scroller. That's pretty helpful.
I have no idea.
No idea.
No clue.
All right. What if I told you there were a lot of weapons you can choose from?
Metal Slug?
No.
That's a shooter.
You don't play as a human. You take turns. Do you take turns in this game? Yes. I mean, you lost, so we're just gonna, You take turns in this game. Actually, let's see who gets it first, Chris or chat. You take turns in this game. You do not play as a human. There's lots of weapons to choose from. There's voice acting, and you could change the accent of your characters. There are multiple characters you could switch from. You could jump. In fact, a lot of the moving around is with the arrow keys and jump with the space bar. Or you can use a ninja rope to get around. Oh, come on with that one. You could throw a holy hand grenade.
A Castlevania game?
Wait, have you seriously not heard of this game?
What is it?
Worms.
No idea what it is.
No.
Never heard of it.
No, come on. Are you serious?
No idea what
You've
that is.
never heard of Worms?
No.
You've never heard of Worms, the artillery fighting game where you throw like the holy hand grenade and you have to control the velocity and angle. They've come out with like 20 Worms games. Worms 3D, Worms Armageddon, Worms Total World Destruction, Worms 3, Worms 2, Worms 1. Like there's been like 50 Worms games. You're telling me you've never heard of Worms?
Worms Armageddon sounds kind of familiar, but
There's so many
nothing
Worms
that's ever,
games.
No, I've never.
Really?
I couldn't tell you what it looks like. I've never heard of that.
I'm gonna have to pull that up and show you. I am amazed that you've never heard of that. Chat.
Apparently the chat hadn't either, because no one got
back
it.
me up. Like
No one got
Worms.
it.
Jeez. Oh man. Okay. So.
I have no idea.
Well, now I feel bad because I was.
That's why I
pretty
told you I was
sure-
worried the whole time. Like I'm not gonna know. I'm not gonna know this game.
Oh my God, Worms. We're gonna play after this or something. I don't know. Jesus Christ. Anyways, that was a thrilling conclusion to.
Sorry, guys.
To our podcast. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We do this every Sunday on Facebook.com/DownrightFierceGaming, YouTube.com/DownrightFierceGaming, and Twitch.tv/DRF Podcast. You can catch our live streams every Sunday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And the new episodes, audio episodes, air every Monday on iTunes, Podbean, Google Play, and Stitcher, unless I feel inspired. And sometimes I just release it on Sundays, so sometimes it comes out early. We'll see. You can subscribe on all those channels. You can follow us on Twitter at DRF Podcast, Twitch.tv/DRF Podcast. I already said that. Snapchat at DRF Podcast. By the way, guys, we're so goddamn thankful to have all the new listeners and to be #1 on iTunes. The only thing we're lacking right now is ratings. So if you can just take a second, give us a good rating on iTunes or any other platform that you're watching through. If you could just give us that old 5-star rating. If you feel like we deserve 5 stars, if you feel like we deserve 4 or 3, then just fuck off. Why are you even rating? That's really dick. That's just. Bring people up or bring them down. Don't do mill shit. Be out with it. People. If you want to buy a t-shirt, you can go to teespring.com/downrightfierce. We have posters and shit. It's so cool. Patreon.com/downrightfierce is where you can give us some money. And that money goes towards all sorts of things like lights and chairs and microphones. And it doesn't even go in our pockets. It goes right back into the podcast. And we kind of need your money. So please give us your money. Please. Money, please. Can I just have some money? Just a little bit of money. Please. Anyways, it also gets you thanked at the end of the episode. So we want to thank Mark Mayfield. Thank you very much, Mark Mayfield.
Thanks, Mark.
We also want to thank Quinn Noble. Thank you very much, Quinn Noble.
Thanks, Quinn.
We want to thank Brian Altano, Damon Hadfield, and MC Lars for letting us use their music. Much
Thanks,
appreciated.
all of you guys.
We want to thank our executive producers, Carolina Jarvis, Brian Kaminsky, and Andrew Kirkendall.
Thanks, Carolina, Andrew Kirkendall, and Brian.
No, I mean, that's where face kicker.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You used to do that all the time.
Face kicker.
All right.
Sorry, I wasn't paying any attention to anything you just said.
You know what? I think I'm going to let Jacob...
You know what we need to do before we go?
What?
I'm throwing down a challenge.
Okay.
Dad joke 3. The
Dad joke 3?
The rubber match. The rubber match.
3?
It needs to happen.
Okay.
So... Get your best stuff ready. I've already got like 15.
Wait, right now we're doing
No.
Okay, I was gonna say I need some time to.
No,
you're just challenging me like publicly.
Yeah, I'm building anticipation.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what also builds anticipation?
What?